everyone, Jamie Makes here from Miss Paper, and today I'm sharing all of the pre-work in my plan for Week in the Life 2023.
So I thought I would try to do as quick a flip through of this as I possibly can, talking through some of the elements that I am incorporating into this year's Week in the Life project. I am planning to document the week of May 8th to the 14th, which is the second full week of May. And I have documented the last 3 years on this same week. So it's really fun to kind of have a specific time frame that I'm doing this year on year. So this is my cover page, and you'll understand some of the design decisions I made for the cover page once you see some of the pages that I'm doing on a daily basis. So just a cute little cover page I put together using photos of my husband and myself. And then this year I'm loving these like triangles in the corner. That's going to be replicated a lot throughout the album. And then I printed my journaling. I designed this in InDesign, printed it out, and adhered it to the top of the page protector, and that's taking cues from something you'll see further into the album as well. And then I just added a cute little heart here. It's gold leaf or gold foil, I believe. And then this may or may not be done. I might add some sort of organic die cut behind here just to break up some of these like harsher inorganic lines, and we'll see how this goes. But for now, I think this is pretty good. I added the photo corners in here, which is something I'm planning to repeat throughout the entire album. And then I've also added in our initials. I did the same on the back, and I included the 3 furry babies who live in our home, as well as a little decorative card here. And then I added their initials. And then I also added our age using some sticker paper, that's the word I'm looking for. Because unfortunately, I didn't think to add this when I was printing them. I decided to do it after the fact, and I don't love it, but it'll be fine for now. So I've done my reason why, and I actually really do plan to redo this because I think the font is just a little bit too big. It's like the elements were a little too enlarged for this specific 4x8 size. So I'm planning to redo just this. No big deal. All of this is done digitally, so it can easily be reprinted, and then I can just peel up this paper corner and stick it down on the new version of it. And I made a little key here, and I plan to add a title that says key at the top, and I'll explain a little bit more about what that means when I'm going through the individual pages. So at the moment, this is in a 6x8 Allie Edwards ring binder, and I just grabbed it because I needed something to hold all of the loose page protectors that I was putting together for this project. I'm not 100% sure if this is the album that it's going to live in, but when I went to grab this album off of the shelf, it had some Week in the Life dividers in it already. So I just thought that was perfect, and went really well with how I am doing Week in the Life this year versus in previous years. So if you've seen some of my older videos, you will remember that I did memory planning pages, and like every memory planner was on a specific theme. One was for AM, one was for me, one was for my husband, one was for my mom, etc. And all of the photos in the journaling were grouped by the theme. This year, I've decided to do them by day, still incorporating those same themes. But it gives me an opportunity now to incorporate fun things like these page dividers. So for every single day, I am planning to keep an hourly log, and I have this all ready to go, printed, and I am planning to handwrite this on the day, each day. There's a few things I'm planning to handwrite versus type, and I'll denote which I'm planning to do when, but definitely for the hourly log, I want to handwrite that in. On the back of this, which is a 3x8 page protector, but it is divided into a 2-inch section and a 6-inch section. I have quite a few of these in my stash, and sometimes they're not really appropriate to use for whatever the project I am playing or incorporating them into. But I thought this was really perfect to kind of divide. I definitely knew that I wanted some pattern paper on the top and on the bottom to have either the hourly log, or what I'm planning to put here is a headline that I'm pulling from the Daily Pages app. I think that's what it's called. I could be wrong. I will link the app in the comments or the description box below the specific app that I'm using to pull the headlines from. And I'm planning to do that every single day. So all of these are what I'm planning to do every single day. So for Monday, in this Monday divider, we have the hourly log, we have the daily headline, I have a little card that I designed for currentlies, we have the day of the week and the date, and I used a Carrie Bradford stamp set to make this happen, and I love this Carrie Bradford stamp set. I love how it looks on a 3x4 card, and so based on this is why I decided to design my title here so that it would look similar to what was done here. Another thing that I'm planning to do every single day is I'm wanting to write out my top 3 to-do list items for the day. Jess Forrester suggested this, or has showed how she had done this in previous years during this year's Week in the Life prep day. And I thought it was a great idea to just kind of outline how you, at the beginning of the day, are anticipating or wanting the day to go by having your 3 items that you want to check off, and maybe or maybe not by the end of the day you have completed them. And then the last section here is kind of the title page for Monday, is a daily recap. And so I've made these little folder 3x4s by incorporating again that like circle in the corner, triangle in the corner, which I then stitched down. And so I give in it a little home for the tag. This is a standard shipping tag that I've just cut a little bit shorter, and it does peek out a little bit from the top, but that's totally fine with me. It'll make it easier for anyone who wants to kind of look at the journaling to pull it out. So on the day, I am planning to write out my hourly log, my currentlies, my top 3, and my daily recap. And that's all the writing that I'm intending to do on the day during the week in Week in the Life. And then everything else I'm planning to type out and print out after the fact. So we'll have some like in the moment documentation, as well as some reflective documentation. So these are like the fun like additional items that I'm doing in addition to the photos that I'm planning to take and the journaling that I'm planning to do. And so I have 3 pages allocated for that for each day. And so my plan is to take a photo for each of the various themes that I'm incorporating into my album, and which I have incorporated for the past 3 years. So my plan is, at the very least, to get 8 pictures a day, and at least 1 in each of these categories so that I can incorporate it here into the section for my photos. And then in addition, I'm planning to do some journaling as well. So I've printed a few things out already, or I've pulled some stuff for every single day. And my plan is, when I take a photo of the morning, that I will then affix the morning little half triangle here, or triangle, half square here, to the corner of the photo. And then when I take a picture of the evening, then I will have, or around the house, I'll have this purple one. And then in the evening, I'll have the PM one. So each photo will have, you'll know which of the themes it is based on the little flag, the triangle in the corner. And then I'm also planning to journal about each of the photos. And so I'm using the exact same pattern papers to help connect the viewer to the photos so that you know exactly what journaling goes where. And so my plan, I've cut up all of these pattern papers. I pulled 8 different pattern papers from my stash. Some of these are really old, and my friends had a lot of fun trying to guess who some of the manufacturers were, and some were really quickly identifiable and some were a little bit harder, but we had fun just sending each other random pattern papers from the past to see if anyone could guess who they were from. That I digress, I apologize. But so I'm going back to the journaling, and what I'm planning to do is, this is what I am planning to print or type out with my printing. Type out and print in order to put in the journaling. And all of this is journaling I'm planning to do after the fact. So these are just examples. So here's some of the themes that I have. So here's morning, which would correspond to the orangey color. Here's Jamie, which would correspond to the pink. That's not really how I've laid it out, but just for example's sake. And then here's Matt, my husband, for the purple. And so this is just how I'm planning to journal. So that's really simple and somewhat straightforward for you to be able to see that all of the Matt stuff is going to be purple going forward throughout the entire album. And when you see the purple triangle in the corner, you can see that that's a photo of Matt, and then you'll be able to read the journaling associated with that. So I have 8 different categories. So I have room for 8 photos amongst the 3 page protectors, the 3 4x4 page protectors. And I also have room for 4 of these journaling cards. And so that's why I had to double up on some of the journaling, because I didn't want to do an entire journal card for every photo, because I don't think that I'm going to have an entire journal card's worth of words, honestly, to say on some of these photos. We'll see. But for now, this is my plan. And I just thought I'd have fun with it, and to cut out the corner here as well, just to kind of stay on theme with what I've already got going on. So yeah, I have all of the little triangles already cut out, and I have a little baggie for each, so that I will be able to know really quick, or just be able to grab really quickly these little bags and pull all of the triangles that I might need, and all of the little pattern paper I might need as well, to put that together. And I'm kind of thinking that I'm going to put things in order based on the time of day that I took the images. So more than likely, AM will be the first image that I have, but maybe not. Maybe it'll be something of me or my husband or the animals or my mom, etc. But I want to kind of keep them in, I want to put them in like chronological order throughout the day, so that maybe the color schemes and the placement will be a little bit different from day to day. So I'm excited about that. So these 3 pages are where I've designated the photos and the journaling to go. And then I've also added to each day's section one of these squares pocket pages. So there are 12 2x2 squares, and this is where I'm planning to include smaller photos and screenshots and text messages and any kind of little ephemera and things that I might collect throughout the day. So I have notes here for breakfast, for lunch, text messages, memes and screenshots, health, like the number of steps I take in a day, the weather, and then dinner, that kind of thing. And the lovely thing about this is that I can add as much or as little as I want to in here. And if I maybe have less to include on a day, then I can use these like an empty square and just make little shaker pockets out of it, and still have something cute and fun to incorporate into this. But I can add as much or as little as I want, which is what I just said. And then just keeping in theme with what I've done and some of the other pages, I made breakfast, lunch, and dinner little labels that coordinate with what I've done elsewhere. And if I want to add them directly onto a photo, I can do that. If I want to add them onto pattern paper, I have extra of these little 2x2 squares that I put in. And then just for now, I had these awesome like leather patches that I think I want to adhere definitely on top of the page protector, because you want to be able to feel this as you're flipping through the album. The leather, the pleather, is a fun texture, and that's what I'm planning to do every single day. So my whole album is already prepped, and you may have seen my quick flip through of it. I have it all ready to go. All I have to do is pull out the hourly log currently and the little tag here, and I will keep those close to me, probably put them next to my bed so that I can do that documenting during the week as I am going about life, so that I remember all of it and am good with keeping it up to date and ready to go. So I pulled just a small group of products to incorporate here. So what's my plan for these little cards like I have here? I think depending on how much word or verbiage I have to include, there might be empty space. So then I would be able to add some embellishment. So maybe my embellishment would go like here or down here. So I pulled just a small smattering of embellishments. For all of this is from my stash. I really wanted this to be a stash project, excuse me. So I pulled some really old little adhesive badges. I have these awesome little bows that are clips, but I've clearly never used these. Some stickers, epoxy, bow tassel things, die cuts, more bows, some charms, acetate, chipboard, puffy, lots and lots of, let's see, this is all die cuts, and then tons of puffy stickers. Those are my favorite. I pulled some chipboard out because I'm really not great about using chipboard, but I wanted to see if I can incorporate some into this project. More die cuts. Yeah, lots of chipboard in this. We'll see if I end up using it. And then I also pulled just a smattering of stamp sets that I wanted to use. I really love Sierra Martinez's stamps for Studio Calico. I especially love this, the fonts that she uses. So I have 1, 2, 3 of her stamp sets that I'm planning to use. And I think that these are all really great, kind of everyday life kind of stuff. So chase all the possibilities, doing my best. Oh, look, that's a repeat. I just realized that, but they're slightly different. Find comfort in the chaos, have fun, be nice, work hard, little things in life, go make today super magical, that kind of stuff. And then just a few other from my stash. I've actually never used this stamp set, so I really wanted to make sure to incorporate it. And I think that these are probably good to go on a 3x4 card, so they probably fit really well there. And then I have the whole set of last year's Heidi Swap captions stamps. And so I have January through December, and I was pretty good about using the earlier months. And then I think probably around April, I did use May. I just was receiving them, ordering them, and I wasn't doing anything with them. And they have so many little sentiments and different things on there that I'm sure I can incorporate these into my project in some way, shape, or form. But so that's just a quick flip through and talk through of what I am thinking for Week in the Life 2023. I am really excited to get started and to kind of jump in, taking photos, because it's like I've done all this work. I have it all ready to go. All it needs are the photos and the words, and so I'm ready and I'm excited to play along. Have you done Week in the Life ever? Are you participating this year? I would love to hear or see even photos of what you've worked on and hear about what you think about the project, and if you love doing this kind of project, or maybe it's not for you. Either way, leave me a comment and I would love to hear from you. Thanks so much.